Could y'all stop hating on Monkie Kid, please? It's actually a really good theme. I'm actually really super just genuinely stoked and excited that I'm joined by my best pal and co-host. His name is Danielewa. He's here to my right or my left, depending on how you look at it. And we're going deep diving into Monkie Kid, all 44 sets as of 2023. We love Monkie Kid. Let's just take it away, right, Daniel?
That's right. It is one of our top favorite themes, which may be surprising because it's not one that you really hear about hardly ever, because it's not sold in stores in America. It's only online on Lego.com, and it's based off of an ancient Chinese legend that is not something that you grow up with if you're anywhere really in the West or not have a Chinese heritage. So it may be unfamiliar, but we have come to really love it, and we're really excited to talk about the definitive ranking today of all the sets.
Before we start, what are we basing this ranking off? We're doing minifigures, display ability, as well as...
well, play value and the build. It's just basically if we like it, how much we like it, which is completely arbitrary, but is a combination of all those things. We're not really caring about how much it costs or anything like that. And it's just completely subjective.
Completely subjective to us, but we are professionals. Keep that in mind. So it does hold a little bit of weight. So let's dive in. I'm super excited. I know Daniel's, he's itching to go because he loves Monkie Kid that much. Guys, give this theme a shot. The number 44th set. We're going to go through and give a thought about each set. We'll try to keep it brief. This one's called Maze Dragon Jet, and it's legitimately not that bad. I just want to say, if this is the worst Monkie Kid set, I think the theme overall is pretty good because this one's legitimately pretty dinky with the dinky side builds. Minifigures aren't too special on the build, but it's actually not that bad. It's not like a piece of crap.
Yeah, I think the only reason that this was so low is because we already got a Maze Jet. And so it's it just kind of felt a little too duplicate.
Number 43, not much to talk about. It is a poly bag, and I do think, Daniel will let us know if it's an exclusive Monkie Kid minifigure, but this is the scuba diving poly bag.
No, you do get the little breather mask, and it kind of is a throwback to how Monkey King originally got his staff underwater in the legend, but otherwise there's nothing too much going on. Yeah, another little cute thing, kind of a retroified Monkey King and his a little market, but nothing else to it.
Well, just the one thing I want to say about this set, I had no idea that the tailpiece could hold a staff like that until I saw it.
Really?
That's actually kind of cool. But it will be taking the 42nd spot. Not much to talk about with that. Number 41, however, is the Monkie Kid staff creations. Kind of a 3-in-1 for Monkie Kid, which is kind of cool. And all the ships are based around the staff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the fact that you can combine them and switch parts in and out and make your own thing, it really stimulates creativity. It's not the most displayable, whatever crazy thing ever, but yeah, it's very fun. It stimulates the imagination. The MK himself might be exclusive in his training gear, but otherwise.
Number 40, this one just is a little bit higher, and we took the average of Daniel and mine and Daniel's opinions. So I was a little bit more biased towards this one just because how cute it is, and you get the delivery suit MK, and I really just liked how it looked.
Yeah, especially his chaotic face. It really just captures his energy from the show. And it's just a really fun, cute little thing. It doesn't have to be complicated to be enjoyable.
What do you think about 39?
The best thing about this is that you can get a lot in a small package, and it can combine with Maze Jet. So almost you get more by having, the more than the sum of its parts by combining this with the other little Maze Jet we already showed. But yeah, really fun. And also the fact that you get the Ultra Iron Man looking MK in a small set is really big value.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool with his face exposed like that. Number 38, okay, I'm a hater, Sandy Speedboat. We'll be taking the 38th spot. It doesn't look great when a big fig is accounted for in the build. It makes the build look really awkward and janky. The one thing that's giving this some rank over the ones previous to it is the Spider Queen minifigure, because she is legit.
Yeah, and it's exclusive whole pattern and everything for her dress and outfit. And it's just, it's a fun setting that you have the whole spider web that you can put Pigsy on, but the vehicle itself, the fact that you have to accommodate the big fig, leaves a lot to be desired.
37, though. White Dragon horse bike. You a fan?
You get a lot going on here, and the bike is really cool. It's kind of like Tron-ish, Nexo Knights-ish, but a little more polished. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's legitimate in her May Tron, and it looks like a white horse. So I thought this was really cool. You're getting a lot of different things with the drone and the build and side build. Pretty cool value. Number 36, we have another Maze vehicle who also has the head of a creature on the vehicle. It's just her theme. That's one of my gripes with Monkie Kid. A lot of the vehicles are similar color scheme per character. Maybe we see that in Ninjago too, but so you feel like, wait, have I seen this set before? Well, this one's cool because it comes with the trike, it comes with Rumble and Savage, and the build itself looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that is kind of fun to have all the color scheme follow through for each character and have different vehicles, a jet, a car, and it's fun, but right, it's not crazy standout. It's just fun.
Yeah. Number 35 is a little zanky. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't really look like a set with 540 pieces, but Daniel might be able to tell us about some of the cool figures we're getting with this one.
I mean, you actually do get some unique ones, like the MK is actually unique, and the powered up Sandy. All of the 2023 sets have most of the sets have like a unique powered up version of a team member that they're all exclusive and unique, and this one has Sandy. So if you want the powered up Sandy, this is the one to get.
And this is the only one with powered up Sandy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And I think it's a unique ship, so it kind of got a higher point on this list. Number 34, it's our first creature build, Maze Guardian Dragon. Not really a vehicle, more so a creature. It looks majestic. It looks pretty cool. Same color scheme, obviously. And I think we're getting a couple cool figures as well.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen this kind of dragon before. Kind of. It's kind of like the water dragon. It reminds me a lot of the Shang-Chi dragon. But the figures are really nice, especially you get another yellow tusk elephant. And exclusive to this set, powered up Tang. And can't resist that.
Monkie Kid's Cloud Jet. I know you're not the biggest fan.
I mean, it's the coolest part is that you can have the little bike pop out, but we're going to see this with a lot of these MK colored sets. The ketchup and mustard coloring just does not do it for me. And like a lot of these sets would be way better if they were different color scheme instead of red and yellow. I find it very garish. Yeah. And so the fact that that's like the main color scheme of MK himself and a lot of the sets is a little frustrating, but otherwise it's a cool functionality.
I think this one's higher than the others because I think the silhouette of the vehicle is really unique. Number 32 is yet another MK vehicle, ketchup and mustard style. This one is called Monkie Kid's Cloud Roadster, and it comes with exclusive figures. The Gold Horn Demon and Silver Horn Demon, they only come in this set, in these figures, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and they're really great characters in the show and everything, and really, they look amazing in person too. The set itself is kind of fun in the fact that it's like, well, this very over-the-top roadster and everything. The original prototypes that LEGO have shown show that the wheels were actually meant to originally kind of have some other bending functionality and some other kind of cool motion, but they cut that out of the final set, so it doesn't have a ton going for it now. So it's just kind of a big car, and there's nothing more than that. But the figures are the real highlight here.
The over-the-top wheels are pretty funny and cool as well. And this one I think is a little bit cooler, Monkie Kid's Cloud Bike, because look at this evil. Look at Spindrax. Okay, just look at Spindrax. He looks like, it's like Tron Legacy. If you match this one with Maze bike thing, then you have just a cool setup of Monkie Kid bikes.
Yeah. Like Spindrax, it's completely unique to the set, not in any of the other ones that I mean, it's just very, very cool. And the bike itself is kind of unique, how it can fly, how it can roll around as well. A lot of versatility.
Yeah, I love the creativity on that one. What do you think about the Red Sun's Inferno Jet?
For some reason, I've always really liked this one. Some may think that it's very simple, there's not a lot going on, but it's just red and gold, and that is a really nice color scheme. And the fact that you can actually fly the jet around and shoot like a trigger. I mean, it's a little interesting, but shoot like a trigger. The springs loaded launchers is a lot of fun to use and handle. So it's a good one for Red Sun.
Now, this one may be one of my least favorite Monkie Kid sets, period, because we have the color scheme of mustard and ketchup, but then they said, okay, we're aware of that, but let's go ahead and make a legitimate ketchup and mustard bottle. Not only that, let's spread some gold fragments upon it as well, as if it wasn't already hard enough on your eyes.
This is the most divisive set for Matt and I, because if given any other color scheme, this set is incredible. So much play functionality. You get almost the entire team in their space suits, which is just the same suit but for all the different characters, and a really pretty nice build. But it's just so hard on the eyes with the red and yellow. I don't know if it's just a me thing or a Matt thing, but it's just rough.
Yeah, what do you guys think about this one? It's really divisive. I could legitimately see it being cool with a different color scheme. And the fact that you get so many exclusive figures in a single set must be sort of, heart-wrenching for Monkie Kid fans who don't want to spend that much money for the set itself. Number 28, Monkie Kid's Lion Guardian. Why did this one get so high?
I think it's just because there's really cool stuff. You have a kind of a working grabber, and you have all arcade. You have a pretty nice lion build with some mouth grabbing functionality, but otherwise, nothing extremely special.
Yeah, I mean, I had the pleasure of building this one. I did actually enjoy how unique the lion build was while building it, how festive and mystical it was. And not only that, you get the Craven the Hunter huntsman villain, as well as Spider Queen, and a cool side build of the claw machine. And I like those kind of side builds. You see them throughout Monkie Kid with the vending machines and such. I like those a lot more than just the rock piles and those kind of side builds. So I think it's deserving of the 28 spot, kind of near the middle here. 27, though, Sandy's Power Loader Mech. Can we just talk about it? They had to account for the Big Fig, right? And they're done with the Sandy Big Fig. The Sandy Big Fig is over, by the way. So this was a wave 2 or whatever of Monkie Kid, where they still had him. But the mech itself doesn't look cool. It has cool features with the spinning arm and the punching arm. And then I love the villain side build because it enhances the minifigure. It's not just an extra pile of bricks.
Oh yeah, and I think all of the mech itself has a lot of fun functionalities built in with the punching fist and the spinning arm, and so they make the most of what they have with having accommodated Big Fig. And the set itself is a lot of really cool stuff, but also there's no exclusivity. You just get kind of a fun mech.
And just a shout out to Mo being the DJ on the top of the mech. I love that zany stuff that you get with this theme. Really funny. Okay, guys, this is where you might close the video. It's number 26. Please don't close. I know it's a smaller one. Guys, come on. It's literally the Monkie Kids Cloud Roadster and the Red Sun's Inferno Truck in miniature form. And this is like the only MK you get with this outfit. And they're RC cars. Come on, guys. Isn't this not so cute?
That's awesome. And it's a real love letter in very tiny form to fans of the series and to people who love these vehicles.
It's just too cute. Okay, Monkie Kids Team Van. This may be one of the few that Daniel actually doesn't own. And why do you think that is?
I don't know.Maybe it's a price thing, but I think mostly it doesn't have any exclusive figures, and it's very fun and playful. It has a lot going for it, and I would like, of course, at some point. It's very cool and it's very important in the show, but it doesn't have a lot of super deep meaning. It's not like a very meaningful character or location or anything like that. So
yeah. So not
but there's so much fun and whimsy on it.
It is super whimsical, and I think that's why it ranks so high, because the stacking and the stuff on top. And we love the whimsy in the Monkie Kid sets, but it didn't quite break past 25 because there's not a lot of, once we're going to get into some really good sets when we get even higher. So it's kind of hard to break in there. But it's cool how all the boxes come off and open up, and there's a whole environment in there. Pretty cool. It'd be a really cool set to have. Okay, number 24, we're going to the Flaming Foundry. This is like a whole base that's like moving. I think it's pretty cool. Not my absolute favorite. Why is it up here, Daniel? We're in the top 25.
I mean, this is kind of representative of an iconic location where the Demon Bull family hangs out and has actual mini Demon Bull King, and that's a real highlight. There is a lot going on, but there's actually a surprisingly low amount of functions for the size and piece count. Then it's nice that you can split it into a little dump truck and then the rest of the foundry, but otherwise it just feels like not enough for what it should be.
Right. I mean, when it opens up, it looks like a pretty cool display. You can put a lot of figures in. If you just, a pretty good set to have if you're just going to get one set. I think same goes with the Team Van previously, but it's just the everything Demon Bull is just really cool. Let's just get that clear. Speaking of which, the Iron Bull tank. I feel like this one's a lot more better than the previous one because it's a lot more condensed and solid and unified. And has just a nice clean feature of popping out those barrels. We just gotta love the Iron Bull tank.
Yeah, I think it's, in a way, even this was only 3.5 years ago when this came out, but it's like nostalgic for Monkie Kid because it's from the very first wave. It's very simple, but it's very elegant in how it has very clear functionality, and it works very well. And you get some pro tags, some ant tags, a little bit of everything. It's a good time.
Extremely solid. Even getting 2 of these would be cool. Army building.
Looks you really could, cool. Yeah, definitely.
This is the better jet. Why is this the better jet?
I mean, it comes down to those scales on the wings. It just looks so nice, so crisp, so clean. But the whole angular aspect of everything is just very, very nice. And not only that, you mentioned earlier cool side builds. This has like a working vending machine and a whole scene that you can have with literally a cat on a little speeder jet. So what's not to like?
Yeah, because obviously this looks like the sleeker, better, more fleshed out jet. But then the side build adds that extra push to it. It's one of the cooler side builds I've seen. So I think it's deserving of that 22 spot. Okay, we're getting closer to the 20s now, and I'm getting nervous because we're getting into some of this bigger. They're not all bigger, but these are Monkie Kid sets. The 6-eared evil macaques mech. He literally has 6 ears from the lore. I actually really like this one. I think we probably should have put him higher.
I mean, it is cool, and you do get Macaque, who's just a fan favorite character. Great minifig in and of itself. I don't know if you actually get any exclusive figs in this, but I mean, powered up may, but none of the parts are actually exclusive. But the monkey is pretty cool. It's definitely smaller than a lot of the other big kind of MK demon builds, but it's very representative of what you see in the show, and the staff is awesome. It's huge.
I love his freaking red arm with the big braceleted shoulder. It's just really blunt and raw. And I love all the lore with the 6 ears on the mech, the 6 ears on the minifigure. I really like. I think we probably should get this one higher, but it's all good. Not the best of the big evil guy builds. Okay, and then we got the drone. Come on, I think the drone copter's worse. Okay, why is the drone copter better?
The container builds, they are so cool and so creative. Like you can see inside, comes with 3 of them, 1 for the spiders and 2 for the good guys. You literally have like May's throne, an arcade cabinet, bunk beds, a whole deployable little weaponry system for the spiders. And the fact that you can carry it around with the drone is awesome. But again, ketchup and mustard. So it's combined. Well, it combines 2 of the things that's terrible: accommodating for a big fig and ketchup and mustard color scheme. If you could change those kinds of things, maybe it would have been a little more appealing, a little more displayable. But the containers are just so fun, so creative, and literally Mo in a flying little kitty. Again, a flying little kitty container is so cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty deserving of being in the top 20. Like, it is the ketchup copter, but you're getting a lot in one set with all these arcade. And yeah, so, and the villains are pretty cool. A little teensy army with the Spider Queen. Pretty big value for that. Okay. Now that we broke the top 20, I think these are like getting closer to the A and S tiers, because Pigsy's food truck is one of my favorites, just because of the amount of Zane in it. And I know Zane's not a word, but it's more of a short term of saying zany. There's a lot of Zane within this particular set, because literally, look at the pig at the top. Let's just get this concept straight. It's Pigsy, who's a pig, and he's selling pork, right? So he's selling sausages, right? So that's just funny out the gate. And then you have the giant pig shooting at the top, and the giant scooper. And I like how it looks different than a lot of Monkie Kid sets with the color scheme. It's unique to itself.
Yeah, literally, if you open up the engine on this, he's cooking sausages, I'm pretty sure, like on the engine. And this comes down to the best things about MK that sets it apart from any other LEGO theme is the whimsy / zaniness and the epic stuff, like whether that's the huge demon creatures or the majestical mythological things, like those kind of extremes, and then coming together. You don't really get a lot of either of extreme and a lot of the other themes, so this is definitely good representation of the zany aspect. Speaking of,
I'll let you start on the noodle tank.
It's the last one, but dialed up to 11, where it's like not only is it just a food truck, you're literally a ramen bowl, and you're shooting out all of these ingredients, and you have like rakes on the front and treads. It's just crazy. For the first time I saw this one, I was like, I just couldn't believe that they actually made something so ridiculously like hilarious, but also just a fun play set, because you're actually battling. You're competing restaurant, the Speedy Panda convenience store, but it's like an actual battle. So I don't know. This
got to be one of the coolest sets of all time. So it should be like, come on, dude. It's like the previous one, but like Daniel's, I like this one. We've got a one rank higher than the other one, because I like how it's a ramen bowl. It's a little more Asian inspired, so I think it really fits. And it's the chopsticks coming out, and the whole story. It captures a bigger story within the set. With, I'm sure you know more about Pan and Lee and all, Mr. Tang, all those characters. But come on, dude. Is this not the dopest thing ever? I love that robotic evil panda build. Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, yeah, we really are in the upper echelon now, because now we have Chang'e's Moon Factory. And, we've talked about this previous podcast when, it was announced. But a very unique Monkie Kid set. There's not another Monkie Kid set like this one. Just look how... I don't even know what really to say about this one, so I'll just let Daniel say it.
So the whole time that this theme has been around, they've had to tread a very fine line between making a toy and making something for kids and families to enjoy, and also incorporating mythological elements, even kind of bordering on religious elements in some cases that tie back to the lore in the book Journey to the West. Chang'e is the goddess of the moon in ancient Chinese mythology, and is even celebrated current, like in modern day, Lunar New Year and everything. So it's very interesting to have like a Lego set based on this, but it's so fun. The Chang'e minifigure is so good with the little Jade Rabbit bunny suit guy and everything. The fact that they're making mooncakes and shipping them off to Earth is, I don't know. There's nothing not to like here. Is the factory the most displayable thing ever? No. But is the bunny mech really awesome and well done? Yes.
Number 16. We're almost in the top 15 of all the Monkey Kid sets. This is the Dragon of the East. Straight up, here's a Dragon of the East. He's here in minifig form. He has a pink beard. What crazy minifigures. This build looks very cool.
And you pretty much get everything you would want out of a playset in one box, with the little manta ray monkey guy, underwater tank, a little coral reef build. Not super necessary, but definitely the dragon here is very unique. The fact that it's kind of like a turtle lion almost type build makes it different from any other dragon that we've seen. Feels a little Last Airbendery, and the Algon Dragon of the East figure himself, nothing quite like it.
And there's the fact his bubble pod coming out, that big pink bubble, is just very iconic. And unique is a very good word for this set, because I've never seen a dragon of this, like you said, turtle lion type build. You get a lot of value in this one set, and there's a lot of Monkey Kid sets that are like that. And then this one is probably comparable. The Yellow Tusk Elephant. I think it's the reason I say it's comparable is because both of them, they're in an animal and they come out into a mini vehicle.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, with the mythological elements being tied in, just these like majestic and giant, awe-inspiring animals and creatures that the characters have to come across and battle or make friends with or whatever. And this elephant is just really cool. And that you can take it's a little mech that pops out the back and have that also be added functionality. It's just really great. You can get some really cool figs as well.
If you feel like you're getting something really special, because I think that's probably the top 3 categories is zany, epic, and then mythological. And I feel like mythological is the coolest of those 3, even though those 3 categories are all really cool. But when you get this Yellow Tusk elephant minifigure, or you get Chang'e, or you get the Dragon of the East, you feel like you're getting a very special something, because it's really cool. So you're getting a mythological Lego minifigure, right? So I think that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, here's the Monkey King Ultra Mech. Let's just talk about it.
Okay, this is one that I don't have yet, but is really cool. Mostly because it's like, with mechs, it's really cool when they get powered up and souped up and get even better for the sequel or whatever. And so this is basically just a beefier version of the original mech, which we'll see later, and is awesome. And not only is it a cool mech with fun features, you have a crazy minifig selection. All 3, the Demons of Camel Ridge, where you have the lion, the eagle, the elephant, all in one, and an exclusive Tang and the whole like Buddhist attire as they're going, to the west to find Buddhist scripture. That's what actually the story's about in the original novel. And that you get that whole regalia here in minifig form is pretty epic, and it only comes in this set.
It would be cool fighting this one, the mighty Azure Lion. This one just seems raw to me. I like this. That's why I like the macaque. They seem evil, raw, and dope. He has this. I thought it was a blunt object, but Daniel told me it's like a scroll or something in one hand. He's got the machete in the other hand, and this would be such a fun build.
Yeah, and you get some crazy figs, powered up Pigsy, as well as, spoiler alert, MK in his monkey form, which is completely exclusive to the set. I know a lot of people first complain like, oh, this looks kind of like a gorilla. And in a way it does, super lion-like. But that doesn't take away how beautiful the color scheme is and what a big presence that it has. It'd be really cool up against any of the other big mechs.
Personally, I don't see the gorilla. Like, the head looks a lot more feline. Like, they think it's a gorilla because it's like standing on 2 feet and has that posture of gorilla. Yeah, that's a cool one. Got to get your hands on that one day. Red Sun's Inferno Truck. Okay, the Monkey Kid nostalgia is kicking in, right? The nostalgia from 2 years ago. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's thick and it's detailed, and Daniel knows about this one.
I mean, I've always been a huge sucker for Lego tanks from all themes, Mars mission, power miners, whatever it is. I love like the tank-like builds, and this is the most tankiest of all of the MK builds. And the fact that you can split it into multiple different vehicles, and each of those vehicles also still looks good and is a lot of fun to have on display and to play with. You can have the Speedy Panda actual shop here, very important, and you can incorporate that with other modular buildings in this theme. It's really awesome.
You're getting a lot within that set. What's cooler than that set, and speaking of mythical, is Neja's fire ring.
Oh man, I don't know if it's just me or what, but I just go crazy for this because okay, let's get the obvious out of the way. It is a super unique vehicle build, a huge rotating fire wheel ring thing. Never seen that before. Versus against a Macaque's pod racer, but all the figs are fantastic. Neja is exclusive to this set, but you also get like the Iron Man Monkey Kid, the Evil Macaque, and Lady Bone Demon, which all are only in one other set each in those versions. And you get everything in this. You get a bunch of vehicles. You get a throne. You get cage. You get action. It's like literally everything you want in one box.
Yeah, all the three components look really good. The throne, the jet, and the wheel. This looks like a very epic event that's happening. Like, when you get the two villains and the Neja, like, okay, who's Neja? And it just looks really epic because, oh, what's this new vehicle? What's this new color scheme? It's regal. It's cool. Everything about it, super cool. Yeah. Deserving up here at the top.
Why is it that every character has a better actual color scheme than MK himself? Like, literally, Macaque's color scheme is awesome. Bone Demon, awesome. And Neja's color scheme is amazing. I don't get it.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. Like, speaking of the color schemes, Queen's Arachnoid. That's a pretty cool color scheme, really fitting for her character. We're in the top 10 now. Why is this in the top 10?
Because of the crazy functions. Again, a lot of these sets are awesome because they have awesome figs and awesome functions. You can move a lot of the legs up and down. The whole back of the spider opens up and has a whole base and everything. You can do a lot with it.
It's just, you get why it's in the top 10. Look how dope it is. What about Monkie Kid's Team HQ? Why is this one up here?
Oh, why wouldn't it be? This is their original vehicle. When it first came out, people were like, well, that's just the Destiny's Bounty all over again. But let's be honest. This is completely different than Destiny's Bounty. Yeah, it's a base for the characters to operate out of, but it is so full of the whimsy and zaniness, as well as a bunch of figures and tons of details on the inside that you can just recreate whatever you want to do and have a bunch of fun vehicles to do it with.
I don't got much to say about this one. I'm actually not the biggest fan. It's cool, I think. Oh, cool. Here's what it looks like. Yeah, and you could even have this in a non-Monkey Kid related setting because it looks like a shipping container boat. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool, pretty zany. But we want to talk about something that's actually cool. Let's talk about the most raw set of the whole entire theme, okay? This is called the Demon Bulk King. And let me tell you about him. This is the most Doom Eternal set that we've ever had in LEGO form. He's got flesh ripping out. He's literally like glowing. His soul is burning in the center. And this is the dopest creature mech, probably all time, right? And the flaming axe, come on. There's not a lot of like features he can do besides shoot the studs out of his top and have the light brick. But man, look at this build. This is the first Monkey Kid set I ever got. Cool figure, Princess Iron fan. It's real, it's raw. This should be number one.
Okay, when it's just you making the list, we can do that. I agree how incredible this is. And this sets such a hugely high bar for what MK villain sets can be, what MK villain builds can be, and characters, that not all of them, most of them haven't lived up to this. Maybe only one other has kind of lived up to this or surpassed it, and we'll get to that. But this, it's just like Matt said, it's real, it's raw, and it's nothing wrong with it.
You said, I'm not even going to hold a flamethrower. My hand is the flamethrower. Like, what is he talking about? Nose ring, everything. Look at this. Yeah. Anyways, back to the regular sets. So, Monkey Kid Warrior Master. No, this is cool. And this is the antithesis of the Demon Bulk King, the Wave 1, right? These two need to fight. Yeah. Monkey King Warrior Mech. Yeah. It's so elegant and it's so extra with the freaking staff. I love the massive elongated staff and how they did not hold back with this set at all.
This is an example of when MK's color scheme does work because it's mostly red, gold, and a couple highlights of teal, hardly any yellow. And so it retains kind of the regal elegance without just like ketchup and mustardifying all over the place. So, and it's very iconic. This is like the monkey mech. We're always going to look back at it
And what other
and
theme
nothing
does
more
this where
can
you're
be
getting
said.
so much? You're getting the city side build and you're getting a villain side
Yeah.
build. You're just getting like a whole thing within this. Like I think Monkey Kids has done that a lot, reviewing these.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely one of the classics. Okay, now we're just getting to the zaniest of the zany. The City of Lanterns. It's in our top 6.
Yeah, and I think it's justified being up here because the possibilities of what you can do with this are just huge. All of these little buildings can pop off, be recombined in a modular way. You can even just display them on their own on your shelf. You don't even have to have the whole monorail or whatever. But you also can have a monorail and you can have all of this crazy stuff going on. You get some exclusive figs and you get a ton of really cool Easter eggs. It's like the Ninjago city of Monkey Kid. But while Ninjago City is, I would say, a little more displayable, it's not quite as whimsical or something that you can really interact with and engage with a lot. Whereas this, you're able to really just mess with it, display your figs like crazy, move the monorail around, rearrange the buildings. And there's Bionicle references. I mean, that's awesome.
This is a Monkey Kids fans' dream of building this. Everything is like related to Monkey Kid or Lego, the Lego store, all these references. You're just gonna have the funnest time building this ever, and you actually are encouraged to touch it and play with it. It's not just something that you just throw up on display. And it's modular. It's cool. I get it. I understand. Okay, why is Monkey Kid's team hideout so great?
And a lot of people may be surprised, like, why is this over like so much other stuff? And I'll try to justify that. One, I feel like this is the only set that kind of, the only, especially location build, that merges MK team, like the original, the new characters, with the mythological side. Because in this season, they are kind of transported back to the Journey to the West era of the story. And so they have all of their traditional outfits, all exclusive to this set, basically. And you have the eagle that's brought in and you can fight. Not only that, we're talking about modularity in the previous set. All of these little shops and builds and everything are also modular. So this can be rearranged and you can combine it with the City of Lanterns. So while it has a lot of the features of City of Lanterns, I put it a little higher because it has much more elegance and is a little more displayable. And it's just very beautiful.
This is a little bit more mature Monkey Kid set, right? This is a little
That's right,
bit
9 plus.
Yeah. Okay, let's ignore the 9 plus. This is a little bit more mature Monkey Kid set, right? You know, it's a little more calm, a little more elegant, and for the real fans, they're gonna recognize the significance of this one. I mean, top 5 is pretty high. You know, we put Macaque pretty low, but this one is, you know, I understand, and it actually will look cool on display. Look nice and peaceful. I love the clouds. It's cool stuff. Oh, I always forget this set is here, and then you're like, okay, yeah, this set is here. Number 4 is the Bone Demon for 1,375 pieces. Okay. I'll just go ahead and start.
Yeah.
It's just really real and raw. Okay, I know we said that on all the big villainous things, but come on. It's a Bone Demon. We don't get these kind of things in any other theme. We really just don't get these kind of things in any other theme. It glows in the dark. Lady Bone Demon is peak. Monkey Kid's mech, we could care less. But it also splits up into individual creatures, and it's just extremely unique and extremely dope.
When I first built this, while I was building, I was like, this is what Lego can be. This is what a peak Lego set really is. Because, yeah, you have the side build stuff, you have a bunch of characters and everything, and that's cool and all. And that's great. But the real piece de resistance. The best thing about this is, there's not just one best thing, a couple of best things. One, it looks incredible on display. It has such a weight and a presence to it and a real kind of villainous majesty, you could say. The other thing is all of the parts of it can be completely recombined into the other little minions and other spiders and scorpions and like the whole crypt and everything. And you can completely, have all of those be combined and fight and have a whole battle and war and then build into the whole big mech. I don't know, something about that was just so cool. And that's what Lego's about, right? You're about building, you're about combining, putting things together. And the fact that this might be the most glow-in-the-dark pieces out of any Lego set is also pretty cool. And it's creepy at night when you turn off the lights because it's still glowing.
Yeah, guys. And this one should not be 9 and up because this one is really just creepy. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Number 4 is high, but man, maybe even be the number one. Let's just talk about a little bit about number 3. We're in the top 3 Lego Monkie Kid sets. 44 minutes later, 44 sets later. Dragon of the East Palace. This is a very culturally significant moment in the mythology. Let me just get that straight. This is where Monkey King's staff, the origins, this is where it comes from. Okay, so if you didn't know that, now you do know. Spoilers. This is it, and can you see it? It's right there. A very eloquent, detailed, cool, mythical, with a little bit of zany, all mixed into one.
You're exactly right for all of those reasons. And the fact that basically Monkey King bullies the Dragon of the East to get the staff and everything is really awesome. It's very important mythologically. All of the figures are extremely cool and very unique. A lot of comparisons are always made in Doggo Monkey Kid. I feel like that's died down now because Monkey Kid is just not available, so people just aren't able to get it as readily. But when this came out, people were like, oh, this is like what the Temple of the End of the Sea should have been. And Monkey Kid gets this amazing treatment and incredible sets that are play sets, and you can play with it and engage with it, but also are extremely displayable, even just for a collector to represent these beautiful mythological scenes in a very exciting way.
What do you think about the Heavenly Realms?
I mean, it's Lego heaven. When are we going to see that again? And you get one of the only characters who is ever able to challenge Monkey King and subdue him, which is Erlong. He's completely exclusive. And Lao Ji, the white-bearded guy, is like the god of Taoism, I believe. So that's really interesting. And it looks beautiful on display. I'm sure it's a beautiful build. I haven't got this one yet, but it's one that I really love because of how important it is to the story and because it just has a grandeur that's really not matched by anything else.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask, like, when will we ever get a Lego set of heaven and God and the Godhead? I know that's not what this is, but come on. Look at this guy right here in the middle. This is the creator of the world and the universe.
Wow.
Like, come on. This is why this theme is great, because you literally have demons and heaven and everything in between. And you may not like that, okay? But if you don't like that, maybe dust off the Cheeto crumbs off of your bib and get up and start playing Lego Star Wars and actually support something more unique and original. It's not always about what's the newest X-Wing. Just get outside of your comfort zone. Erlong is peak. Nobody can beat Monkey King. Well, some people can, and Erlong is one of them. He's literally one of the most OD people in all of Journey to the West in mythology. Probably only, to Buddha is probably who's going to beat him, right? So this one looks really cool. A lot of people complain about the vinyl. I don't love the vinyl, but it looks good. I'm just not a fan of vinyl pieces in general, but it doesn't look bad at all. Yeah, heaven, man, you got to get this one. This is really. And the number one would be. What do you guys think? What do you think it is? Let's go ahead and hear it.
Luke's Landspeeder.
Luke's Landspeeder. I'm just joking. Okay, now keep in mind this one is a 10 plus set, so you got to be a little bit older than the other ones, but it is the Legendary Flower Fruit Mountain. The Legendary Flower Fruit Mountain. This one is mythology ridden for Monkey King. And it is also beautiful looking.
Yeah, it captures everything that this theme trying to do. The whimsy of how all of the rocks are arranged in the waterfall, but also the epic mythological grandeur of a very iconic and very important scene and location in Journey to the West, and where Monkey King rules all of his monkey minions, basically. You get tons of unique figures in this that you can't get anywhere else, and it is just incredible on display and to look at and admire, and kind of a calming zen as well, while also being able to relive like all of these important moments of Monkey King's story, from when he was born in the rock to when he becomes the actual king of the Flower Fruit Mountain, basically. It just really captures everything about it.
I think that's why this one's okay to have the number one spot, is because it's very, I'm running out of vocabulary, but very fresh. Yeah. It's really fresh and like pleasant, and this is like the source of the origin of the mythology. You see him being born from his rock right there, and it's just you get such a strong feel for Monkey King. Not only that, it does not look bad on display either. Let's get that clear. So, is this deserving the number one spot? What do you guys think? Is this the best Monkey Kid? Is it? It's subjective for each person. I think that I know Daniel and I agree on this. This could definitely be the number one. But any one of these in the top, like four, I think any one of these in the top four could have been the number one. So really overall great theme. Are we shilling Monkey Kid? Yes. We just want to give it a little bit more screen time because I know it could be a little bit less appreciated over here. One comment I want to make about the theme is the price. People complain about this set being expensive. Is it overly expensive? Not per set. Like, no, the sets aren't unfairly priced, I don't believe. Because you can see here, none of the sets are absolutely crap. None of the sets are like dumpster material, like we get with a lot of Marvel, like we get with a lot of Star Wars, like we get with a lot of Ninjago. And those could be cheaper, okay? So maybe this would be a little bit more expensive, but I think is an opinion, but you're actually getting something quality product, right? So I do not agree with the overpriced comments.
I think this is the most consistent Lego theme in terms of quality, in terms of what you are getting for what you put in, and they really just don't really churn out bad ones. Almost every other theme you could look at and be like, well, it was pretty rocky this year. Most other themes, and of course, this theme isn't going to be for everybody. I recognize that not everyone's going to care about the mythology or the characters or all of the different storylines or anything, or the show or the novel. Like maybe that feels like a high barrier to entry, but at least hopefully you can appreciate these beautiful builds and the cool minifigs. And if that's all you like, that's totally fine. But hopefully this has shared some of our enthusiasm with you and you can appreciate it a little more.
Yeah, and it's not for everyone. So it's you don't have to love this theme. I don't buy a lot for myself personally, but I can really appreciate how quality it is and how diverse it is. And we don't get a lot like that. So I think it deserves a spotlight, and because I want to see more like it, more cool things like that. So let us know what you think of our ranking. I know some of the hardcore Monkey fans are going to be like, well, okay, you guys messed up with your placing a freaking whatever, like the drone copter is tier 1. Like, come on. But like, everyone's different. I would actually be genuinely curious to know what your top 1 to 3 would be, because everyone's different. So thanks so much for joining us on a little bit of a longer one. We were willing to do this with any other theme, by the way. We will rank anything. We will rank any Bionicle, every Bionicle ever made. We will rank every Marvel set. We will do it. Just tell us that we need to, and we'll people please. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thanks so much for joining us. And Daniel, thanks for all the insights.
Of course.